Let's discover what happens when we decide collectively to take the next 2 steps forward. And when I think about taking the next 2 steps forward, I'm reminded of something really remarkable. Right now, at this exact moment, while we're all here together, we are spinning on a planet rotating in space right now at about 600 miles per hour, going around the sun at about 67,000 miles per hour. And somehow, in the midst of all that movement, all that motion, all that spinning, we have somehow gathered here together, which I believe means something really, really powerful. It means that we are all already moving. We are all already taking steps forward. If I may, I'd like to share a poem. We fear what we love. Y'all, being awesome is a monster trapped inside of closets that watches us sleep, that steals our dreams in the dark, and when we awake, y'all, we forget how amazing we could be if we just turn the lights on. If we just pulled the cover from over our eyes, placed our feet on the ground, and boldly proclaimed that we are not afraid of greatness. That no matter how many nights we shiver, scared of our own success, we will at some point get a full night's rest. And y'all, we will rise with the sun. And like the sun, we will be bright and bold and blinding and hot and huge. And people will need us to survive the cold and the night. And we will awaken, y'all, as warriors of weary, as soldiers of failure, as griots of fate, armed with weapons of mass construction. We will build ourselves a fortress of power, protecting ourselves from hating to be loved and our capacity to be godlike, and our right to be present, and our calling to be parents to offsprings of our victories and ancestors to heartbreak and loneliness and empty pockets and grumbling bellies and confusion and altered reflections. And we will no longer hold our pillows too tight at night, wishing it were a warm body, or maybe a healthy diagnosis, or maybe that phone call some of y'all are still waiting on from daddy, or a note that says, yo, I love you, from the person you actually want to love you. And we will awaken with muscles up on our shoulders that are strong enough to hold the world up when people need us to hold the world up because they are tired of holding the world up. And we will awaken, y'all, with our voices in harmony and pitch that makes a whisper seem like a rocket ship, and a rocket ship sound like, oh, I miss you. And we will tiptoe down hallways, making footprints feel like earthquakes. And we will awaken all those sleeping, all those afraid to be brilliant, all of you afraid to be acknowledged for daring to be different. For those of you who run when you should stand. For those of you who hush when you should command. For those of you who need to realize you can't hide in this light. It sticks to you like brown does on my black skin, like a sap from trees rooted in sweet soil. I need everybody at TEDxFoggyBottom right now to know that you are stars. Literally, I see you in the sky, defying laws of space-time and gravity, because humans are not supposed to fly, but you, yes, you glide like the first leaf in autumn. Your silhouettes, y'all, they strut in daylight and they dance with the moon. You all are part of a collective, some critical mass of intellectuals, and you are governed by some kind of divine knowledge, which means you are meant to be here with a purpose. Just like I am meant to be here with a purpose, y'all, we all purposefully meant to be here so that the sick can become a healer, so that the timid can become a leader, the weary can become a teacher, and the boogeyman can become a poet. Thank you all so much. Thank you. Thank you. For a long time, I believed that the world required me to choose one thing. If I loved books, I could be an author. If I loved education, I could be a teacher. If I loved poetry, I could be a poet. But nobody ever told me that I could be all of those things at the same exact time. No one ever told me that I could stand on stages as a spoken word artist, that I could also enter classrooms as an educator, that I could also sit down at a desk and write books as an author. Y'all, progress does not always look like a straight line. Sometimes it looks like a poem. Sometimes it looks like the sound of someone's voice trying something brand new. You know, when I was in college, I was a first-generation college student, and I struggled quite a bit to figure out where I fit in. I didn't know what I should study, who I should be, what I should become. I changed my major 5 times. 5. I'm sure my advisors love that. I went from psychology to business. I tried economics and accounting. And ultimately, what I realized is I wish I would have majored in African-American literature to begin with. But y'all, that's what I mean by progress is not always a straight line. It's not always a giant leap. Sometimes it's just 2 small steps. Today, I run an organization called Emcee Academy, and through poetry, spoken word, and hip hop, we help schools and communities transform learning spaces for educators and for students. I had no idea that I could do something like that, be my full self at that same exact time. Sometimes, y'all, again, a step forward might also just look like a simple act of courage. I've seen students who believed that their stories didn't matter show up inside of schools and perform poems that shift entire rooms. I've seen classrooms turned into community spaces where people feel honest and brave enough to speak something about themselves. And in each of those moments, again, I'm reminded that progress looks like little things like that. A kid raising their hand, a teacher deciding to teach in a different way, some student deciding to lift up their voice. That, I believe, is what progress looks like. Those are moments of courage. If you all can right now, I would like for you to do something. Take your hand like this, hey hand. So you to pat yourself on the back and say, good job, me. Say, I'm proud of myself. I want you to now look at someone and say, hey, you deserve wonderful things. Yes, yes, love it, yay, I love to see it. Yeah, that might seem like a small moment of encouragement, but sometimes encouragement is that first step. Y'all, just remember that progress is not necessarily a straight line. Again, sometimes it looks like a poem. Sometimes it looks like a voice finally being heard. And sometimes it looks like believing that you are deserving of taking steps forward. Thank you.